Hello everyone, welcome to FIST Financial Studies classes. In this video, we are going to discuss about what are mutual funds and how to analyze it and how to invest it. This is the first part of this video series where my thought is that I will ask my viewers about what kind of videos on mutual fund they really want to see. Like for example, do they want to see the recommendation of mutual funds kind of video, or like how to analyze the mutual fund before investing it? What are the various types of investments we can have in mutual fund? Like we can do investment in bonds through mutual fund or stocks or anything like that. So these are some things which I have in my mind. So if you have any suggestion related to the video which I should make in this series, then please comment on the video. Else there is also a telegram community, the link of which is there in this video series. Sliding down, there is a link for the telegram channel as well as the twitter of this youtube channel, so you can follow the twitter and also join the community if you want latest stock recommendation. You can comment there also to let me know like what kind of series you are really interested in. So now let's start. Mutual funds are a type of company which pools the investment of many investors and then invest it in securities like equity, bonds, real estate, gold, etc. This is the basic structure of mutual fund, but with the definition it sounds like it is just a middleman. So this is not actually what it is. So if you can see in the picture, there are a lot of people with a very different profession, and they have two scarcity of two things. One is knowledge about financial investments, and the second is the time. So because of these two reasons, they really want their money to be invested by some experts which can give enough time to invest their money in secure and good securities. So that's what a mutual fund do. It takes their money and pool it, and then they have some specialists which are called fund managers. So the fund managers generally invest in the securities on behalf of these investors, and for that the mutual fund charge some money. There are some mandates also which they have to follow. Like if a fund manager has the mutual fund invest only in the large caps, means big companies, so they can't invest in bonds anything. Similarly, if there is a mutual fund which is only for fixed income, they can't invest in other things. So these are some things which we have to know about the mutual funds, that what type of mutual fund it is. So now we will look at Grow app, which is a company which provides you the details about a number of mutual funds of different companies, and it helps you in analyzing those mutual funds and directly investing in it. So there are some advantage of such platforms like Grow. This is not a advertisement of Grow, I just use it, that's why I'm explaining it about Grow. You can also do it on any other platform if you know about that, but I would recommend to do through such to invest through such platform rather than going to direct the companies or the city office of those companies which are providing you the mutual funds. So here you can see that there are mutual funds of Axis, ICICI, Nippon, and many other companies. There are a lot of investment opportunities you can see here. So that's the reason why I said you should invest through these platforms. So here you can see my investments. So there are 4 different companies you can see in this dashboard. So I invested in all 4 of these. If I would have invested by going to their city office or by directly going to their website, I would have to check on all those 4 websites and those 4 office to know my investment returns. Whereas in this app, I can directly see what is the return of my investment in a single dashboard. So this is the advantage. Apart from that, there is also advantage that I am having for SIP. I will also let you know about what is SIP later. Grow app directly cut the money from my bank account since I have linked it, and directly pay it in this mutual fund. So I don't have to think a lot about what is my payment should be, and when should I pay and all this. So I don't have to keep track on those things. So you can see here there are 4 categories: stocks, mutual fund, gold, US stocks. So here we have to focus only on the mutual funds. And the mutual fund also, you can see that popular funds is given here. So don't really go by these things, because see, I will give you an example. So this is a Nippon India Pharma Fund which is saying that they have 21% 1 year growth, 3-year growth. So you can see here the most of the return is because of this last year, where due to corona the pharma stocks went really up, and that's why they are growing at 63%. If you look at their 5-year return, it is just 12%, and all time return is around 18%. So you can see that though it's a good return, I'm not declining that, but most of the return came in just last 1 year, and that is because of a special incident called coronavirus. So you have to understand such things before investing on. What we see here is there are some collections like a high return stocks. So this collection will give you the details of all the mutual funds which are providing high return. So as you all know that high return means high risk. The second one is tax saving. This category contains all the funds which are based on ELSS scheme of the government of India, where you can tax benefit by investing in such mutual funds. This Mira Asset and Axis Long Term Equity are also tax saver fund, and I invested in them just to take tax advantage. So for all the tax saving purpose, you should go to this one, and even you can search any particular fund which is providing tax saving by this search tab, so that is also there. Third category is better than FD, so it is basically the investments in bond funds, corporate bond or a government bond funds. So you can see Kotak corporate bond fund is given here. So these are the funds where you can get a return better than FD with a very low risk, because they are bonds, they are not stocks. So you can learn more about bonds in any video I will upload in the video series, or you can learn it from Google, etc. This is a of investment where you get around 8-9% return with very low risk. The fourth is top companies, just like large cap funds. So if you want to invest in large caps, you will go to this collection. Then there is SIP. So SIP is systematic investment plan. So these two you can see here also, Nippon India and Kotak corporate bond. So these are also my two SIPs where I invest 1000 rupees per month and I earn, you can see the return here. So similarly you can start investing with just 500 per month. So these are some examples of those funds is there in this collection. So I'm not saying that all the funds available in India are available on Grow. Most of them are available on Grow. The last point is sector bets. So there is Nippon in India Pharma and Technology Direct Fund. These are all this all comes in the sector bets, where you are just investing in a particular sector. Now that doesn't provide you diversification, but if you see that a particular sector is going to go up, but you don't know which of the which stock of that sector will go up, so in such a scenario you should invest in this kind of funds. Other things which you can see down, important part of these are compare funds, where you can compare the different mutual funds, and other is live NFO. Live NFO means a new fund offer. So you can see here that there are these four funds which have new fund offerings. That means just like IPO, when IPO is released to list new stock in the market, similarly NFO is released to list new mutual fund in the market. Now what is the advantage? There is no a big advantage of NFO, just like IPO, where you have this oversubscription lottery. So if you get a lottery in a oversubscribed issue, you will get a higher price listing, and you will earn profit just by selling it at the time of listing. So that's another topic, but here in new fund offering such thing doesn't happen. Now going back, we'll see how to invest in a fund. Let's take Axis long term fund. So this long term equity fund, you can see here that it is providing me returns of 1 year. 1 year is 18.4%, 3-year return of this same fund is 12.75, and 5-year is 14.85. So overall for the last 5 years it has kept increasing, but it is fluctuating also, and this you should not be worry about because of downfall because of the coronavirus. So that's why this fund didn't do well in this period, but generally it is a good fund. So you should look at here that it didn't go really bad in the last 5 years, so you can invest in it, but I'm not suggesting it, I'm just giving you an example. Now what is NAV? NAV means net asset value. So just like a share price, this is the price of a 1 unit of a mutual fund. So if you have invested 61.36 rupees, you would have got 1 unit of this Axis long term equity fund. But what is different here from the equity is that if there is a stock of rupees say 200, so you have to invest exact 200 to buy 1 unit. If you want to buy 2 unit, you need to invest 400. You can't buy 1.5 unit, but in a mutual fund you can buy 0.5, 0.25, 10.5, any units. So if you invest 100 in it, they will give you some 1.6 units. And then there is this expense ratio. So the lower the expense ratio, the better it is. Expense ratio is basically one kind of commission here. Fund details is also given here. Also, if you want to know a little more on the any fund, then a grow video is there on this fund. Then 1 3 5 year return is there, and then there is this SIP and one time investment calculator. So it tells you, like, if you have SIP of 5,000 rupees per month for a year, like that means you have invested actually 60,000, then in the 1 year, based on their previous return 18.5%, you would have earned 64,906. So that's just a calculation if you want to have a forecasting if you want to forecast it for you. But I won't say that just to go by this value, because this is not forecasting on the future returns, this is forecasting on the past returns. Then you can also compare this fund with the other funds in the same category. Some of them are doing better than Mera Axis, some of them are not doing as good as Axis. And I invested the top 2 5-star funds were Mera Asset and Axis, in which I invested. But now it has changed. Axis went down to 4-star, and these two new BOI AXA and Canara Robeco become 5-star funds. Then there are some pros and cons of such funds, that you should invest or you should not invest. Then you should take a call after that. You can also see here what kind of holding this fund says, what is their equity, what is their debt investment, how much cash they are having, and all these kind of things. Then here you can see that the investment is in, say, services, automobile, financial, this kind of industry. They have invested their total investments, and then total holding, all the holdings you can see in this. So these are some things which you should look at before investing in it, in any mutual fund. The fund manager details should also be looked at, and you should also do a secondary research on the fund managers to get a better understanding, like what kind of person he is and how successful his career is as a fund manager. Because there is because actually you are giving your money to this person, he is the main person responsible of it. Obviously there would be a lot of people working under him to provide him the recommendation, and then he would have to take final call, but he is the person actually taking the final call on your money. So you must do a very good due diligence before giving your money. These are the things which you have to look at. The scheme details and all these are there. So now we should look at how to compare 2-3 funds. So let's compare the Axis Long Term Equity Fund with Mirai Asset Tax Saver Fund and BOI Tax Advantage Fund. So these are the tax advantage funds which we have seen. These are 1 year graph. This is 1 year graph. You can go to 5 year and you can see that Mirai did the best, Axis did somewhere in between, but now it is the third one, and BOI AXA was better for some time, then it went down, and now this year again it has improved. Now going down, we can see what kind of risk this funds has, what is minimum SIP amount they are asking, minimum expense ratio. So by expense ratio, Mirai Asset is the minimum. By going by returns, the BOI AXA did well in this last year, and initially also it was good, but in the if you go by an average of 3 years, BOI AXA didn't do well as compared to other two, and Axis was the best among them. Now pros and cons, you can see here that asset under management is very less in BOI AXA and very high in Axis. So that is something which we have to understand before investing in anything. Exit load generally is zero in almost all, and exit load means when you are going to take back your money, you don't have to pay anything, but that is based on a condition that you have to keep your money till 3 years. That is the scheme ELS is required, okay, for the tax saving. Now this is a holding analysis and all these things are there. Fund manager detail and all what we have seen in individual mutual fund, you can compare it for multiple. So that's what you have to see in this video. There would be a lot more videos on mutual funds where we would be speaking in about how to analyze and invest in a particular sector mutual fund or in a bond mutual fund, or how we can invest in US based on a mutual fund. So all these things are there. Just let me know what is your priority, what kind of videos you are looking for in mutual funds, and I would definitely make some of them. So Thank you very much. Please like, subscribe and share these videos with your friends and family. Thank you very much.